It's okay.
Okay. All right. So, so, so you guys know what consumer networking is, right?
Is that the same with direct marketing
Yes.
or networking?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Similar with New Skin.
Okay. Yeah. Similar idea, but New Skin is very old, right?
Yeah.
Very old
Used,
technology. New
I
Skin
used,
is like Amway. It's very old technology. Their
yeah.
their compensation plan. And did you know that all of the Philippines in Amway was in my business? Did you know that?
Only now.
No.
Only now.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a time when all of the Philippines. Just a second. Let me check something here. Anyway, in my other life, I was in the Amway business, and all of the Philippines was in downline for me, almost all of it. So, excuse me. About 18 months ago, I've been in this industry a long time. About 18 months ago, I got a phone call from a guy that I know that works for the companies. He's on the company side. And he told me that there was a company coming out that was really, he said it was really a great situation. And he suggested that I go get involved with it, and he told me who inside the company to get involved with. So I did that, but I've been waiting. They offered me the master distributorship for the Philippines. Basically, they said that my team could be the stockists there. But before I really took that position, they announced that they'd sold the company. That was about 3 weeks ago. And there's a billionaire out of China that bought the company. And he owns 2 other direct marketing network companies. For some reason I lost Ronald.
Ron, are you there, Ron?
Yeah, I don't know. His feed went off. Anyway, there he is. Can you hear me?
Ron, are you back?
For some reason, he's muted, and I can't get him to unmute. There he goes. No. So, anyway, there's a new company starting up. It's called Viiva, Viiva. And what they did, this Chinese guy who owns 2 other direct sales networking companies that they're both doing more than $1 billion. So
wow,
that's big. In fact, one of them's doing about $2 billion a year. But he wants a global company. So he came to the United States and he hired one of the top management teams here. They used to be in a company called Zango, Xango. They were the management team for Zango. And in 10 years, they took that company to about $600 million. This is pretty good. I knew about that company. I didn't think they had really the top product line. I thought it was okay. But they were directly competing with a company called Monavie, and Monavie was always better. Anyway, my point is that these people, the management team, went to a formulator, a famous formulator here, the person that creates the products for companies. And they told him what product lines they wanted and asked him to create those. And he's 85 years old or something. So he's in his 80s. And he told them, he said, I've got those products already, but they're in a company that I started 2 years ago. He said, I'm ready to retire. Why don't we negotiate? You can buy the company and then you get the distributor members also. So they did that. Now what this does for us is on January 9th, they are going to launch in all of Asia, including China, North America, and Europe, all on the same deal. One day, all of it open. And it's going to be in a binary hybrid compensation line. Do you know what those are?
Yeah.
Do you know how they work?
The binary formula. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a binary on the front end and a check match on the back end. It's the best type of a compensation plan for this type of a business. Have you heard of a company called Jeunesse?
No.
Okay. Jeunesse started about 9 years ago. I want to say, I think it was 2009. Excuse me. And some of the people from Monavie went over to Jeunesse. And so that was 2009. Now, of the top 200 earners in direct sales, they have 22 people in that list. And one of them is at number 2 is an Asian woman called Kim Wee. She was born in Taiwan, I think. And when she was a teenager, her parents moved to the United States. And they keep track of these people, right? They know how much money they make. Last year, she made $10 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot, right? A lot. She uses social media marketing somewhat similar to what my team does. I don't know exactly, but she's a big proponent of social media in marketing for networks, just like I am. And 4 years ago, in 2014, there was the top person on that list from Jeunesse was 180 out of 200. Now they've got all of these, 22 people in the top 200. And quite a number of them are in about the top 20. So we have a history here. Monavie was the same way. It came from nowhere, and within 6 or 8 years, they almost filled up the top levels. There's my wife. She said, join us maybe. So there's a history here of companies that have this type of a product, that have this type of a compensation plan, but this company, just a second, let me add her in here. So this company is in this perfect situation because the market that they are opening into is like the market of an 8-year-old company, a 6 or 8-year-old company, and it's on the first day it's all open. But we have a 2-month, 6 weeks now. We've got a 6-week head start with everybody else because we're in Tavala. And we can register you guys in Tavala, and we can get started with this market development so that when the binary launches, you're already in a preferred position up high. This is worth a lot of money.
How much is the registration for this?
There's no enrollment right now. There's free enrollment. The only thing you have to do is, you've got to purchase product every month. I don't know exactly how much the cost is going to be there, but it's probably I don't know, let's say maybe $100 or something like that of product, something like that. In order
Okay.
to keep that placement up high in the binary when it launches. And what we're seeing right now is a fantastic response when we're talking to people. Already we're seeing the excitement. I think I've enrolled 20 people probably in the last 2 weeks. I've got a young kid from Afghanistan who's enrolled 11 or 12 people in the United States and England and Australia, I think, in the last probably 10 days. So the response is very powerful. I mean, people realize, they look at this, they know what's going to happen. So we've got quite a team in the Philippines already. But it'll be interesting to see how that develops. You know, the Philippines, a lot of people are excited and interested, but they don't always have the money to buy products. You know that.
Yeah, I agree.
But the big push initially is going to be Hong Kong and Singapore and Indonesia, Malaysia probably. Thailand is going to be a big push initially because the company, we have strength in North America and Europe, but they're going to put a big emphasis because they want China. So they're going to put an emphasis on Hong Kong. Now, regarding the Philippines, I think Filipinos have a fantastic opportunity. And I've always believed this. I always started my teams in the Philippines because the Filipinos are the most dispersed culture in the world. I always say the whole world goes to the Philippines for workers and wives, right?
Correct. Yes, that's right.
So
That's right. That's really right.
the Filipinos are all over the world. So if they're in the Philippines, I have a method that I teach to use Facebook groups to find people, let's say Filipinos, in all of these different nations. And then people can join into these groups and meet the people and then prospect them. It's very successful. We used this method, the last company that we were with, we put in 15,000 people in about 5 months. That's a lot.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a very successful program. In fact, it was so successful with that other company, they couldn't actually get the products and everything to the people in all the nations. So we've had to change that system a little bit and tell the people, use the system, but you got to focus on the United States and Europe, places that the company can ship the products. Because what happened was we ended up with a lot of people in Africa and India and Pakistan and places that, you know, the people were excited. They really wanted to build. That company told us that they could service those markets. But then when we actually had the groups there, they couldn't. So that's when we had to take a step back and find another company and maybe change our strategy a little bit. So do you want me to do a screen share and I can roll through this a little bit and explain some of this to you?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Okay, you can see the screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So this is a product called Trim, and it's basically a powder, or they've got capsules also. And this is an energy drink, and it's also part of a weight loss system because it's an appetite suppressant. It's natural. It's, you know, you can see here, but it's elderberry fruit extract and green tea extract and some things like that. Okay, it's actually a great product. It's very popular, and this is one of the key products in the lineup. This is Tamanu. It's a skincare line, very high quality, very, very high quality. This Tamanu oil is there's something about it that feeds the skin. So you can see it's just a really high quality skincare. I don't know if you guys know, but skincare is one of the top products anywhere in the world. Women spend a lot of money on skincare and cosmetics. This is a protein shake. Again, it's part of their weight loss system, but I drink it in my smoothies all the time. I have a smoothie every morning for breakfast, and this stuff is fantastic. It's the best tasting protein shake that I've ever had. Easy. It's really good. This is called a quantum relief strip. These were developed by a quantum physicist in South Korea, and they infuse energy back into the body where you have an injury or some kind of pain. I think it's fantastic. I've got one on my knee right now because I've got a knee that I injured. When I had surgery on both of my hands a year ago, I used them and I didn't have any pain at all. I'm not saying they work for everybody. It's like anything else. In fact, I've got a guy that we sent some to, and he's had them for about 3 or 4 days. He said he hasn't felt any different. But on the other side, I've got a friend of mine that owns a medical clinic back in Connecticut. She has a fracture in her back, and she said these are the only thing that help. So it's it's a great product. What they say, put it where it hurts. This is an awesome product. It's called Amazon Gold. Okay. This is the combination of some super fruits from the Amazon. Okay. And these fruits are full of nutrients, including antioxidants. And this is one of the best types of product lines in the world because there's been so much research on this. And the story behind this is that about maybe 15 years ago, they discovered that there was a population of people in the Amazon that rarely got sick. They lived to be old, they didn't get sick, and they went down there and studied them to find out why. And what they determined was that these people eat these tropical berries, and they're full of vitamins and nutrients, and are very, very high in these antioxidants. So they started making juices and things in those. But some of the top research in this came out of the Texas A&M University in Texas, United States. And this is what they said. In the first research involving people, the acai berry has proven its ability to absorb in the human body when consumed both as a juice and a pulp. That finding by the team of Texas AgriLife research scientists was published in a recent issue of the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry, showing the berry's absorption in humans is important, but because it is known to contain numerous antioxidants. So this is a pretty important study. A lot of people love this stuff. It's a fantastic product globally in the market. Really good. So you know how the binary works, right? It's 2 legs. Right, guys?
Yeah, well, left and right.
Left and right. One side is shared with the people that got in before you. Right?
Okay.
The way this works is that these people that got in before you are going to sponsor people down underneath you in the binary. You're going to build the second leg. Okay?
Okay.
Now, the way I usually describe this to people, this is like a piece of property on a highway. In itself, it's just a piece of property sitting there and the traffic goes by. But if you build a restaurant, people are going to stop and they're going to spend money. Right? So what we want to do is we want to develop this spot by throwing some people down here first, then we start to build out this leg. Now, why do we put people down this side? Because part of the ability to get paid in a binary means you have to be what's called qualified. Qualified means that you have to be purchasing a product regularly, and that makes you active. So there's two terms, active and qualified. Active just means you're registered and you're buying product. The second term is qualified. If you have someone active on both sides of the binary, you're qualified. Okay? And sometimes there are some different types of qualifications. Like I've seen some of these that if you had 4 active people down here, you get a different bonus situation. But in any event, this is the way the binary works. Then you start building out this second leg. And what you're trying to do is place these people down here and help them do the same thing. The way the binary pays is that every week the computer system kicks on and it adds up all of the purchases coming up these legs. It adds these purchases up and then they go up this leg, come up from down here. All of these people down here, they add up until they get to your position. And then the computer calculates both sides. So one point is that all of these companies use some kind of point system for the products so that you know what's going on, because if they didn't, right now Tavala's in 36 nations. Imagine trying to manage all those currencies on our part. We let the company manage the currencies. We just want to know how many points are being created so that we know how to build our teams. Make sense? So let's say in this situation that this leg, in this example of a week, had 5,000 points. And this is a much bigger leg. It had 50,000 points. So what the computer does, it subtracts the amount that's in the smaller leg from each side. So this 5,000 points goes down to 0. This 50,000 becomes 45,000. And it rolls over to the next week. So the next week, this leg starts at 45,000. Now it pays you on the 5,000, and this binary pays 10%. So you get $500. That $500 gets deposited into an e-wallet, and then you can go take that money in the e-wallet and put it into your bank account or onto a debit card of some kind or something like that. Okay?
Okay.
The reason this continues to accumulate week by week is so that you don't lose the value of what you're creating down here. Sorry. What will happen? Usually it caps out, like maybe you can go up to 1 million points or something like that. Now the reason for this is because it does happen, and there will be people that this happens to if they're in early like this. At some point down here on this leg, this can grow and it might end up being the bigger leg. This might happen because some big team gets in India or something. Sorry. So if that happens, it's called flipping. My legs flipped. If they flip, then every week you will max out the binary payout until one of those legs zeroes out again. Now the maximum payout is $10,000 a week in the binary. But if you max out your binary, the company is going to allow you to build up to 2 more. So you've got the ability. There's Ems. Hello, baby. Do you remember Ronald and Edge from Starbucks? Can you hear, Ems?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. So I was just explaining the binary. So the idea here is you'd like to keep these two equal as much as possible. But if you maximize one of them, then you can build up to 2 more. So that's $30,000 a week, roughly $120,000 a month. You can see what that is. That's $1.5 million a year just out of the binary. Now, one of the important things about the binary, you can see what happens here. They get massive. They'll be eventually, maybe, I don't know, 5 years from now, there'll be hundreds of thousands of people down your binary. Now, this is called a check match or a unilevel.
That's him?
Yes.
Is he real? Is he real?
Ems? Ems?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening.
Can you, somebody, I could hear somebody. Oh, it's your kid. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so, this is a view of your team in what's called the unilevel. This isn't hierarchy. It's just a view of the relationship, okay? Because you might be here, but this person down here maybe builds a bigger team and can make more money than you. That's okay, because you're going to make a lot of money if that happens too, right?
Right.
So there's no, there's no situation where this person, everybody, in other words, everybody's got equal access to the compensation plan. What's really important about this is that there is no limit on the width of this top level. This is really valuable in the way we build these teams using social media. For instance, the guy who's my sponsor, Dave, he has 400 people frontline. 400. I mean, that's astronomical, guys. I've never even heard of anything like that. But I've got a young, like I said, 2 weeks in, I've got 20 people. I've got a young kid in Afghanistan that's got 11 people after about 10 days, and he's got 4 or 5 more. Every day he gets 3, 4, 5 people because he's using this system of sharing the videos. And he just goes into Facebook, and he's working eBay. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but he's in eBay, and he's meeting these people. And then he just sends them a message and says, hey, somebody shared a couple of videos with me. I'm excited about this. Why don't you take a look at these and see what you think? And then he drops these 2 videos that I made on them. And like I said, he's really taking advantage of this situation. It's great. The important thing about this is that the binary, because it creates so much excitement, because it grows so fast, people make money quick, the binary helps to fill this out. So we don't know the details yet of the unilevel for Viiva, but usually it's a few percent on each level. Like this level might be 5, and this one be 2 and 3 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. And it usually goes down like 7 or 9 levels. I don't know the details on it yet. But the important point of this is each level has no limitation. Like each one of these positions has unlimited width. So with our type of a social media build, we're going to end up with huge numbers. And this is how somebody like Kim Wee makes $10 million, is because of all of these people that end up being down here. And this is going to be crazy in China. China and Asia, we think of the United States as being a big market. There's 330 million people here. Well, China and Asia are like 3 billion people, so it's 10 times the size. And I mean, I just get so excited for you guys of what's going to happen there, because there's going to be people on this team that make that kind of money. They're going to be making $10 million in 6 or 8 years. Why do I say that? Because it happened under Montevi, and then it happened under Jeunesse, and we're coming out and we've got the better product line, or as good a product line, and we've got the compensation plan. We've got the social media skills. And there's nothing here that's going to prevent us from repeating what's already been done before. Now, I can't say that that's going to be what happens to you guys, but you guys have control of that. You've got the ability to make as much money as you want here. We've proven that. So this is what I see happening here. This is called a market development S-curve. You've got sales or income here, and you've got time down here. What's going to happen is we've got about 3 months of what we call adoption or formulation. This is the teams coming together. It's going to be about another 6 weeks until the launch. Then I just found out the binary is not going to kick in until the end of January. I think that's so that they've got time to convert. So this 3 months, I think now is 4 months. Because after the binary kicks in, I think there's going to be 1 month where it's still growing. It's going to be great. But you're going to start seeing people come out with their checks. Hey, I got this much money. I got this much money. And when that happens, you're going to start seeing people get really excited. You're going to start seeing people jump in and just start throwing people in. Because they're going to see, boom, 1 month in, you know, Edge is making $2,000. And when that happens, you see it just explodes. I've seen this with several companies. I've always been on the upside of this. You know, I've always gotten in up here. It was good, but it wasn't, you know, wasn't like this is going to be. Really, if you can, it's great to be in down here because we can put our teams together and get everybody going. And then when this starts to climb, it's going to explode through your organization. That's what we want. So this tipping point right here, I think is going to be at about 4 months now. I originally thought 3, but we just found out that they're actually going to launch the binary the end of February. So Viiva is going to launch the 9th of January. I'm sorry, end of January. And the end of January, they're going to roll the binary in. I think that's going to be right here. Then I see 4 to 10 years of high growth. I don't know how much. And probably what's going to happen is that they're going to stack S-curves because in about maybe a year, they're going to open India. That's going to be another explosion. Then about that same time, they're going to open Africa. We've already got teams in Africa ready. That's going to be another explosion. Then I think about the same time or a little later, they're going to open some of these markets in South America. Those are going to explode. So I see wave after wave here that we can take advantage of. The way our team works is we use this search bar on Facebook. And we go in there and we put in a 2-word search like this. Filipino here. Now you could put in Filipino in any city in the world, right? It's going to pull up these groups and pages of Filipino communities, Facebook communities. So all you need to do is go join these. Let's say you want to try and get a group in 10 United States cities, or in Hong Kong, wherever. You just go in here, join the groups, make some friends in there, and start sharing the videos. It's a really simple thing to do. We've used this. This is what we do. We've proven it's very successful. This allows you to easily build your teams all over the world. I want to tell you a little story. So this young man in Afghanistan, of all places, Afghanistan, it's got to be one of the worst places in the world, right? Every day he tells me of some bomb that went off in his neighborhood. It's bad. But he's just graduated from college. So he's on his laptop and he's doing this kind of research. And this morning he puts me on the phone with a woman in Philadelphia. She's a translator, a governor, works for courts and things like that. She speaks, I think she told me she speaks 4 languages. She's got friends and family all over the world. She's very excited about this. In fact, she's coming into the meetings in the morning. We've got we've got a webinar kind of similar to this in the morning. She's coming in. And you know, he met her, this young guy from Afghanistan met her doing this on Facebook. It's just such an exciting process. So the way this works is we just drop as many people as we can. This is a marketing funnel. And we know roughly that if you send or receive about 7 friend requests a day, that's 210 a week. Right now, I get probably 30 to 50 friend requests per day because I started doing this. And I started doing it in the Philippines. So I'm going to tell you, a lot of these are women in the Philippines looking for boyfriends, right? But by doing this and by doing these communities, you know, pretty soon these people are sending you friend requests, doing what we teach. So if you even have a couple hundred a week, that gives you a choice of picking some really good people in there. And maybe you have about 20 little short conversations a week. Maybe you're sharing the videos with about 20 people a week. And if you get people in the right profile, they're going to be receptive, right? Make sense? So these people are going to start coming into these meetings, into these webinars and things like that. They're going to get excited. They're going to get involved. We have a Facebook group, and in that Facebook group, there's a section called Units. That's all of our education and resource material for our team. The videos are there. The subject matter learning is there, so that people can go in there and learn at their own speed. You know, I've had people that have gone in there, they just sit and watch all these, spend several hours and watch all the videos. Most of the videos are 4 to maybe a long one might be 15 minutes. Because I tried to keep them small. And if it was going to be a longer video, I broke it down into 10 minutes a piece or something like that. Subject matter. But all of the basics are there. Now I'm starting to fill out some other things. But what you want is to get these people coming in, they enroll, you want them in an auto ship, because the auto ship builds the value of your asset. And the auto ship is going to protect people, keep them active and qualified. Because the only issue is if they miss an order, if they miss an order 1 month and it goes past their order date, their carryover volume flushes, goes down to 0. So there's some value to keeping that order process. So I just wanted to show you, these are the top earners in this industry, and I watch this list every year. A lot of these people, this DAG coin, okay, this is obviously, this is some kind of a cryptocurrency or something like that. I promise you, that guy, those guys, they probably won't even be there in 3 years. Some of these that are coin related, there was a guy on here several years ago that he was a big deal, man. He was making all this money in some kind of coin. He's not even on the list anymore. Because that's what happened with those deals. They get in, they do really great, but then some technology changes and boop, they're back out. What impresses me are these companies and these people that have been here year after year after year. Because I think that's the goal. Hopefully the company lasts a long time that you're building with. Now you see this guy right here, Dexter Yeager? Dexter Yeager's been the top guy in the Amway business for probably 40 years. He's been making this kind of money in Amway for 40 years. That's impressive, right? Now, I happen to know that the Amway business has the worst compensation plan in the business. It's really bad. But that's why these guys are up here, is because they've been there a long time. But you see this woman right here, she did that in 8 years. And you can start to come down here and see, here's another Jeunesse. There's another one here. You get down into the next group of people, there's a whole bunch of Jeunesse people down there. This Lioness is an interesting, it's a weird program. I looked at that some years ago. I didn't really care for it. But you do see some of these companies in here. this is what our goal is, because we want the top earners, whoever they are, in Viiva to be up on this list, because when those people get pushed up to the top of the list here, that means that there's thousands of people down underneath them that are making a lot of money. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I like to see. I like to see, this situation right here. I like to see these companies, relatively new companies that are using the same style of compensation. Where do they land here? So it's very interesting to watch this evolution, because there are companies, Organo Gold. Have you ever heard of Organo Gold?
Yes.
It was a mushroom coffee. Organo Gold had a bunch of people up here, Bolton Huggs, whatever his name is, Holton Boggs, I think. They had some guys up here a few years ago. They're flushed out now. They're gone. So we know that some of these companies are great. We know how fast they build. We know that we can make a lot of money here. So that's the idea, guys.
Okay, Val, is it okay to throw you some questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, number one is I just want to make sure that the registration amount is around $100, right?
The registration is free, but there's.
Okay.
Let me pull up here, and I'll show you. Okay, hang on just a minute.
Purchasing your product is $100.
Yeah, I'm going to pull this up right here, guys. Let's share this again.
But they do have a monthly maintenance.
Yes, in order to get paid. But guys, let's face it. Okay, you're not average people. All right, right? I'm not an average person. My wife's not an average person. We're going to get in here. It doesn't take very much to earn $100 a month in this. And
Yeah,
so
yeah, I understand.
by the time you put your first couple of groups together, you're going to make enough money to cover your product. So I'm not, for people like us, the price of the product is, regardless. I mean, if you're serious, like I'm serious, you're going to get out there and you're going to probably find 8 or 10 people in the first couple of weeks. Why would you not? When you know what's going to happen. I can tell you what's going to happen. Anybody that's building with this, a year from now, is going to be making $100,000 a year, if you're serious, or more.
Okay.
So
The maintenance.
you look here. Let's roll down here so you can see. Any of these products. See, there's like $120. There's 55 points. So yeah, it's someplace in that range, and it varies with the product. But usually, what happens is people buy one and a second one. So these two are 70. They're maybe $120, something like that.
So it has to be, you have to purchase something for every month, right? Just to make sure that you maintain your account.
And just so you know, that's the law. There's a law that says that you can't earn money in one of these consumer groups unless you're actually a consumer. So that's why they structure these. It keeps everything legal. Plus, they're letting you participate in the payout. So, they say if you're not even buying a basic couple of products, why would you be able to make thousands of dollars a month? Right? Makes sense? But yes, you're right.
Is there a minimum amount on maintaining such account?
Yes.
Being a consumer?
I don't know. Right now it's 25 points. So you could buy this right here for $70 and it would be okay. What I don't know is what it's going to be with Viiva. And I think it's going to be something more like 55 or 60 or something like that points. So that's why I'm saying, he was saying the other day about 55 points. So maybe that's where they're trying to target. That means that somebody would buy this, or, honestly, a lot of us buy a lot more. I mean, I probably spend, because I want the products. There's certain products here that I like, that I use. I just changed over the products I'm already buying on Amazon. I shifted them over to this. So I spend about $250 a month. But that's just me. A lot of people do, but that's just me. So anyway, you can see the value of the products here. And if it ends up being 55, then probably you've got a combination of these two or something like that. Make sense?
So it has to be a monthly maintenance for all of the members.
Yes, if you want to get paid. But I would think that you guys like me, you're going to go out and you're going to throw a team together. And so you're not going to pay for your auto ship. You're going to be making more money than you're spending. But yes, there's a requirement that you have to, and I don't know exactly what that requirement's going to be. It's going to be, right now, I know what it is right now, it's 25. I think it's going to be a little bit more in the binary because you're going to get paid more. So I think it's probably going to be 55 or something like that. But we know that the typical person in these, and I don't know about Asia so much, but in the United States and Europe, the typical person probably does about 100 points a month, typical person. But I don't know if that's going to be the same in Asia or not. Sometimes, like with the Philippines, they will probably repackage some of the materials so that they're less expensive, but maybe they're not quite so many points. I don't know exactly how that's going to work.
Okay. For example, I bought a certain products online. My concern is there a charge for the delivery since I am residing in the Philippines? Since the product will be coming from the US. So if the product is, let's say, $50, the net price is $50, do they will be adding another charge for the deliveries?
Right now, if you're on an auto ship, they give you 10% off, and that actually usually covers more than the cost of the shipping. But if somebody's not on an auto ship, then they pay the shipping, and they don't get the discount. I don't know if that's going to continue exactly or not in Viiva. And of course, then I don't know about local taxes. I don't know what you guys do for sales tax. Here in the United States, most of the states have sales tax, and it's usually 10%. So for instance, my order this last month was, I got it right here. My order last month was $250. My sales tax was $26.18. My shipping was $12, but I got a $25 discount for being on an auto ship. So you see, my shipping was $12. I got a discount of $25 for being on an auto ship. It covered more than the shipping.
So how much did you pay in total?
I paid $263, but I ordered 4 products. I order a lot of products because I like them. I use them.
Okay.
But that's just me.
Yeah, that's just you. Okay, another one is the online. The only thing to join this is online, right?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, assuming you're in the Philippines,
Right.
okay. So if we are going to launch this Viiva, is there a team from the Viiva, or your team or our team will be the one to organize a launching here in the Philippines?
Well, we can definitely organize a launch depending on what you want. But what we have been doing is we have a system where we use Facebook chats and we add people to those. But I don't know of any plans to do meetings in buildings or anything like that at this time. It will happen. I just don't know when.
Okay, because
We do, right now, we're doing everything online. And we've got, I don't know how many people we've got in our Asian group, which is Philippines. But I have had, in the past, I've had 2 of these groups on Facebook chats, and they just keep adding people. I've had 2 of them that have been like over 500 people, about 500, I guess. And then I go in and do a presentation in there every week. And then they go talk to people, and they bring more people in and add them to the chat.
if they, for example, they add more people on the chat, that's fine. That's easy. The question is, while they add them, are they already registered?
Not usually. Usually they come to get more information. So for instance,
Okay.
let's say you were to share a couple of videos with somebody in the Philippines. Let's say they say, boy, this sounds really good. I want more information. Then you would add them to the chat. They come in, they see the presentation. Now they can join anytime. They can enroll. You would give them your link, your website link. And then they can go enroll. They would enroll under you. One of the challenges with the Philippines is that it's all islands. It's hard for people to travel around. So that's why we started using these Facebook chats. People don't need to travel. They don't need to worry about anything. Now, eventually, we're going to start having some meetings. But I don't know how many, because this grows so fast with these Facebook chats and with these video conferences. One of the complaints that people have about consumer networking, network marketing, is they've always got to be going to those meetings. It takes a lot of time and costs money, right? That's why people like this format. They do enjoy getting together occasionally, but they don't want to have it every month or every week.
That's true. That's true. But the problem is here in the Philippines, the cultures of the Filipinos.
Yeah.
But the majority of it, aside from using the internet or the chat room or the group chat or the whatever it is, Filipinos are more, you know, confident when they saw or they witness it on a huge scale in a proper venue.
I understand. Guys, all I can tell you is I haven't experienced that yet. And I'm not saying we're not going to have meetings there. I'm just explaining that for right now, this is growing.
You're gonna use the online.
Yeah, it's because it's very easy for people in Surigao to drop into these chats, and they don't have to worry about how am I going to get to Manila or how am I going to get to Davao City, right?
Right.
It's very easy. Maybe until they get to the point where they're making enough money that they feel like they can afford to buy a ticket and travel. But we will eventually have meetings in the major cities in not only the Philippines, but Thailand, Vietnam, Hong Kong, all of these places. They will probably be sponsored by the company, and they will probably happen at the time when we've got enough people in the groups there that the company says, oh, yeah, okay, it makes financial sense for us to go do that. But here's something else to think about, okay? And this is what I recommend to my teams. Your goal here is to make money, right? That's the idea. So I'm not saying don't share it with people in the Philippines, but I'm saying get into Facebook groups and share it with people, Filipinos that live in the United States, because they've got more money, mostly, right?
Right.
Now what happens is those families that are in the United States, they're going to come back and be sponsoring their family members in the Philippines. And they will help them get products because they want, and I've got this happening in my group already there. They're asking me, my grandmother needs some nutrition. Is this drink good for my grandmother? Because that's what Filipinos do. people in the United States buy things for their family, right?
Okay. Okay, Val, in the future, in the Philippines, would Viva would they be establishing a satellite office here in the Philippines?
They already have a warehouse in Manila.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So if they have a warehouse in the Manila, that means it will be easier for all the Filipinos to get their products,
Yes.
to
But
receive their products,
but
because the warehouse is located in the Philippines.
one of the things that I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work is that a lot of Filipinos don't have credit cards. They deal in cash. So
Yes, that's true. That's true.
our group may end up being stockists there, in which we buy and put an inventory of products in the Philippines so that people could pay cash and then pick it up with LBC or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. You guys know more about that than I do, right?
Yes, yeah. Right, right. That's true.
But Filipinos deal a lot in cash. It's a little bit different than Hong Kong, right, Ronald?
Yeah, that's right.
So, Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, they mostly use bank cards. And I'm not saying the Filipinos don't, but the Filipinos, to a very large degree, are a cash culture.
Hey, Val,
So
you there?
somehow there's going to have to be some process where people can place orders and it's either shipped COD with using like LBC or something like that.
Yeah, it's normally COD and bank deposit.
COD and what?
Bank deposit.
Okay.
So this right now there's so many new we call it a delivery guys right now in the Philippines. It's more demanding than before. So okay, another question is uh the video presentation for everyone. Would that be available for everyone?
Yes, but what do you mean?
The
This?
video presentation, the marketing video presentation. For example, I registered and I want to share it to my wall. Is there a link
Yes.
that that registered under my account that anybody that would like be interested and be joining automatically would my account be responsible in registration?
Well, I have a couple of thoughts on that. Right now, Tavala, the existing company, they don't have, I don't think, they don't have very good support videos and things like that. Now, I don't have a problem with that because we are creating those within our team. And I almost prefer to do that, but I think there's some value to having some company support material also. But in Facebook, in our group, we have all of those videos. Okay, we will have more present. I've got some things in there now. In fact, I've got one in Tagalog. Okay, but
Okay.
one of the things that would be good to happen would be for one of you guys to do one in Tagalog, like this. Do something and on Zoom and record it, and then post it there, the video. Then you can link it over to your page. Make sense? Your Facebook page. So you can do these things. Does that answer your question?
Okay. Well, it's not more of it because I'm actually looking for the company's support more on the videos or a presentation coming from the main company. For example, Tivala will be you know supporting us some materials
Right.
so we
They've
could
got
use it
they've got
as
something.
part of our presentation.
Viva's going to have a lot more, but I want to share something with you that's my experience. A lot of times these companies, they'll produce videos about the compensation plan, but they aren't actually as good as the ones we do because they don't really understand so much what we do. They'll have some videos, they'll have some really high quality videos about products and things, but we've already got product testimonial from people that are using the products. And what my experience is, if the company is telling you how great the products are, okay. But if somebody on the field side, if the consumers are telling you how good the products are, that's far better. The testimonials are better than, because people don't necessarily say, okay, the company says their products are great. Right? But if you've got Mary here who's telling you, I've been using this product and it's fantastic, I just love this stuff, that's really powerful. What I tell people is, like, I had somebody just now this afternoon ask me, what can I post on my Facebook page? How should I do that? And I'm telling people, this is social media. The most successful people in this industry don't post a lot of commercial things on their social media. Like, in other words, they don't post, buy this, buy this, buy this, or join, join, join. What they will post is their experience. They'll make a post and they'll say, man, I just love this product I just tried. This is really great. Now, or, man, I had this problem with my knee and I use these patches. They're awesome. Now people come because you're trying to attract people. Now people come and they go, what product is that? Now you can start a conversation. But social media is full of people that are advertising for buying clothes or jewelry or whatever. But the truth is, not that many people buy like that. And sometimes they unfollow them because it's a constant stream of promotion. So you want to keep these people engaged with you. What is really valuable to post on your Facebook page is, as you start to make money, post about the changes in your lifestyle. Oh man, I'm so excited. I just bought this car. I'm so excited. I'm going on a trip to, Shergao or wherever, right? Because now people are looking at this, they're going, now they contact you, man, you're going on all these trips, you got a car, what are you doing? Where'd you get that money? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the support materials, in my experience, got a lot of experience, the support materials are better to use one-on-one with people as you're contacting them personally than just posting them on your Facebook page. You're going to get a better result by interacting with the people. That's why I developed these two videos. They're very specifically created to get people to go from the first one to the second one. From the second one, they come back, they want more information. Then you can either pull them into a conversation with me, or you can pull them into one of these groups, or pull them into a Saturday morning webinar. We know that by the time a person gets to the third connection, you know that you've got somebody serious and you know that they're involved. They're going to get involved if they take 3 steps. I learned this from some people that I met that develop landing pages. They'll get somebody on the landing page, and the objective, the only thing you want on the landing page is to get them to click to the next page. Make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Then on the next page, they get a little bit more and get them to click to the next page. Because you know that by the time you get to the third page, pretty much they're in. So that's why I've crafted these videos in this certain way. And the first one is called, Do You Want More? And basically it says, have you ever wanted more? You ever want more out of life, more car, more vacation, more fun? You know, it talks about that. Most people say, yeah, that'd be great. And then it goes to the next page. And the next page is what we do. And it talks a little bit about this process. Now, if people aren't interested, they don't go on, and that's fine. We want the tools to do the work. I'm not going to chase somebody. I don't want to be in a position where I'm trying to convince somebody they should be involved in our organization. I want the tools to do that because I just want to become really good at delivering the tools. Now I can do that over and over and over again. This is how you get 400 people on your front line. This is how this woman makes $10 million a year, is because she got really good. She has a system. She just got really good at operating the system. And she's just doing the same thing over and over and over and over, consistent. I have a friend, her name's Onyx Cole. She was with Monavie. She was in early and rode that first wave. The first wave is so valuable after the launch. Onyx is a single mother of 3 children. And she saw Monavie and she said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to show this to 2 people a day, period. I'm just every day, 2 people. And she did it. In 6 years, she made $16 million. Now, that's a pretty simple thing, really, when you think about just, you know, she had some business cards made up. See, I've got my business cards. I had some business cards made up. They're cheap, right? Business cards are cheap. Oops. Oh, here we go. I was in the bank today. I was in a bank, and the cashier is a Chinese woman. I knew she was not from the United States. I could tell she was probably Chinese. And I asked her, I said, where are you from? And she says, guess. And I said, well, someplace in China. And she looks at me, she says, yeah. I said, Taiwan? She said, no, I'm from mainland China. So we get this conversation. I told her that we've got a business expanding into China soon. Really excited about it. She says, really? I said, yeah, I took out my card and I wrote my Facebook. I didn't have my Facebook printed on the back of it. I want to write it out because it's personal. So what I do is I flipped it over and I just wrote my Facebook. I said, Val Campbell 731. I said, look me up on Facebook. I'd like to chat with you. Now, is she going to? Maybe, maybe not. But in a year, if I get 5 groups that way, that's a lot. That's 5 groups ends up being probably $100,000 a year just from handing out a card. Just a little conversation. I just mention a little bit. I leave a card. I want to see if they're going to chase me. I don't want to chase them. We've got too many people to talk to. Social media changes everything, guys. We have unlimited number of people to talk to. Now, you can do what you want because I'm not your boss, right? You can do what you want, try things. But I just know that if I can get a little bit of a personal conversation with somebody, then I want to know, are they going to chase me? Because it's a whole lot easier to enroll somebody and sponsor them if they're chasing you, right? You don't have to sell it. So in answer to your question, yes, I am sure that Viiva, because I know the management team, I know who they are, that management team is going to have some really great videos that they're going to make. We will probably use some of them. But ultimately, I will never surrender total control of my business development to a company resource like that, because what if I'm giving that out and all of a sudden they change it and the link goes away? I had that happen at Monavie. I had an email campaign that I had this email campaign going out to several thousand people on my email list, and the company changed the links, and it was nothing then. So that's when I said, I want to have control over our links, right?
Correct.
So now if the company changes their link or something, it doesn't affect us because we've got our own situation. And eventually, right now we're on Facebook. I figure Facebook's pretty solid. It's probably not going to go down. But eventually we may end up having our own team. I write WordPress sites, so eventually maybe we've got our own team page or something, or what. But I'm not too worried about that. No. So I don't know if that answers your question, but it helps explain some of my philosophy and my experience. The most important thing is you just want to have teams in place when this binary kicks in. You want to have those teams in place when that thing starts to go up, because your income is just going to explode across the next 12 to 18 months.
I'm just worried about the deliveries of the products here in the Philippines. That's the biggest problem, because if,
Yeah.
let's say, $100 plus the taxes and plus the delivery charge, and how long it will take to deliver the product from Viva to the Philippines. That's the huge
Well,
problem.
the product is already there. The product is already in the warehouse. So I don't see that as being a problem. And all I don't have that answer for you. All I can say is this. I had 60,000 people in the Philippines in my Amway business. They didn't have any problem delivering products. Network marketing companies deliver products all over the Philippines. I don't have all the answer. I know that we'll be able to do it because other companies have.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
And ultimately, and I want to be sure, I'm not disrespecting the people of the Philippines. I'm married to a Filipina. I love my family in the Philippines like crazy. The bulk of your income is going to come from other places because there's more people other places in the world than there are in the Philippines. It's just mathematics. The Philippines is 130 million people, right?
Yes.
China's more than 1 billion. India's 1 billion. Isn't Indonesia like 1 billion? Right? Africa.
No idea with the Indonesia.
Something made me think, I think Indonesia is like 1 billion people. Africa, 1.1 billion people. Europe and North America is about 1 billion people, I think. So if you just look at the numbers, the biggest part of your income is going to come from other places. You're not limited. That's all I'm saying. We will support the people of the Philippines. I'm not worried about that. We will figure that out. We're smart guys, and there's a pattern there. We have people on our team that we know we can figure that out. I'm not worried about that. When it comes to time to be shipping that, I'm relatively certain, first off, that we can become stockists. And that means that if we've got enough team, if we've got enough demand for it, we will become stockists. We'll buy inventory. We'll have it sitting there. And then when people call in, we will handle the shipping with LBC. I think that's an easy way of handling that, isn't it?
Can you give us the link of the products?
Yes. I will give you my registration. I would suggest that you guys go in and register. The registration is free. Register, get your position, then you'll be able to go into your website and you'll be able to look at the products and look at all that stuff. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'll send you that link. I will make sure both of you guys are in our Facebook group so you can see what's there. And I'll also make sure, if you want, that I can either put you in that other Philippine group, or we can just start a new group. Ronald, you're in Hong Kong, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, you're sitting on a gold mine. It's. I just. I truthfully, Emerlinda and I have our visa paperwork in, and I wish we'd done it differently because the paperwork we've got, she's got to come to the United States, and then we'll officially get married, and then she's got to get her change of status before we can travel again. I don't know how long that takes. I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm saying, man, I want to be in Asia. I don't want to be here. But we'll figure it out. Because Asia is going to be where it's happening. It's going to be an amazing situation. Yes, North America and Europe are great, and it's going to be good here. But when I think about the size of the market in Asia and how much fun we're going to have down there, I'm jealous. You guys have got a great position. So let me shoot you that link to enroll. Now, the other thing is you guys have to decide, maybe you flip a coin, one of you should probably sponsor the other one. That just makes sense, right?
Right.
So you just have to decide who does that.
Okay, we're gonna talk about it.
Okay. All right. So when you do that, what happens is one of you will enroll, then you'll get your link, then you can give it to the other one, and that person can enroll.
Okay.
Ultimately, I don't know that it makes much difference. There's going to be so much support here from your upline that, normally you'd think, well, I want this person to be underneath me because it's going to help build out my binary tree. I don't think that's going to be an issue here. I really don't. All right.
Yeah.
Any other questions for now?
Well, I hope Ron will have a few more questions.
Ron?
No, wait.
You good for
By
now?
the way, Val, this is recorded, right?
Yes.
Is there any chance that we can watch it later? Or
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put it up on YouTube and I'll send you the link. Okay?
Okay, that's good.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, sounds great.
Let's see if I can find the controls
What
here.
time is it now there, Val?
Huh?
I mean, what time is it? I think it passed your bedtime already.
I don't really have a bedtime. You know something? Guys. I've got teams in 12 or 14 countries, and I'm going to sleep when I'm on the beach with my wife in the Philippines. Right?
Yeah, I agree. Come home in the Philippines and we'll do a presentation with you. I'm sure everyone will register.
I already had one team meeting about a year ago in Manila where I pulled some of the leaders of my Philippine team together. That was when I was there and met you guys.
Okay.
I did a little one-day seminar there, and I had about 12 or 14 people there, and it was fun. It was good. I had fun. Maybe they didn't have fun. I don't know, but I had fun.
This time would be 100. This time when you make a presentation, it will be 100.
Yeah. Well, the main reason I did that is because I wanted to find the location. I wanted to see. I've got a gal there. Her name is Liz. She's really good at organizing these things, and so I wanted to see how the resources went. And there's a place there. God, I can't remember the name of it. Emerlinda could tell you, but they've got a lot of meeting rooms.
It's acceleration.
Yeah, acceleration.
Accelerate. Yeah.
Accelerate. That's what it is.
Yeah, in Makati.
But they've got all kinds. They've got all kinds of meeting rooms. So.
No, it's a venue meetings, right?
Yes. Accelerate.
Okay.
Very good, Ems. Thank you. So we've already got venues. We know how to work the system. So we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, guys.
Okay. Ems will be our team leader here.
That works.
She will be our boss here.
I know you don't need a boss. I think you guys should be the team.
There is no boss here.
Who wants to be a boss, man? You got to be there to boss. I don't want to do that.
Coach. We call it coach.
Yeah, everyone is boss.
We call it coach. Okay.
Coach, yeah. Well, yeah, you don't want to make her the boss because believe me, she'll be telling y'all what to do, won't you, honey? Okay, guys.
Cool. Wow, huh?
Wawa.
No, I need to learn also.
Yeah, it's all right. You're doing great, babe.
And I think your friends are very good. I'm just listening to them.
You know what I know? Anytime you meet sharp people in Starbucks, it's probably a good sign, right? These are people who have good self-images and they don't mind meeting new people.
Yeah, it's true.
Besides, I owe Ron a big favor because he saved me on my computer.
Wow,
Instantly.
that's good.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah, he saved me. Okay, guys.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye
Bye-bye po. Thank you.
bye. Thank you. Bye bye.
Got any questions, just drop them on Facebook. I'll answer.
Okay.
Oh, copy.